Okay, so welcome everybody back to the Clinical Research Circle. My name is Dan Sfera. I've got Ashley Margot, we've got Dr. Al Jazayadli, and we've got Chris Sauber. And
Hey,
then
where's my
soon,
fancy enunciation?
well, how would you like it to be enunciated, sir? We can request your accommodation.
Saber.
Actually,
Sauber. Chris likes the French, so it's Sauber.
no,
Saber.
it's actually Zauber is the correct pronunciation.
Well, we got Latinos in clinical research. We have good articles on there, guys. Latinos in clinical research. We have CRISPR therapeutics, gene-based medicines. Okay, so CRISPR is Dr. Al. Actually, it's between you and my dad, Dr. Al, who introduced me to the CRISPR. It was technically my dad first, and then you know how when your dad tells you something, you're like, okay, okay. But then when somebody else tells you the same thing, you're like, okay, now I need to pay attention. So this is exactly what happened. My dad told me about CRISPR, and then like a month later, Dr. Al did. So then I was like, okay. And then I looked it up. I told Chris, look, man, we gotta like get some of this stock, the CRSP. I mean, and we've been doing very badly on this stock. We bought at the top of the market.
It is a bad time for it any time, but you can keep it.
Anytime
CRISPR
I
is
buy,
one
it's
of
a bad
the
times.
yeah. CRISPR is one of the stock that I invested in long time ago.
So why is
Oh.
it so exciting for you? Because you said it's the Amazon. It's the
It's
next Amazon.
This is what they say in all the blogs about CRISPR. It is very novel treatment for genetic disease in general. It is gene editing way of for the a lot of disease. They started in genetic disease. Recently, they did the gene for sickle cell, and sickle cell is one of the most devastating condition for the patient. Since they were born till they die, they have the sickle cell where they require blood transfusion. They have pain crisis and everything. And now with this in Philadelphia, I think they did study, and they're going now in uh, more advanced stages in the study, and they're showing very good, promising results. And the stock used to be like in their first of all started in the 30, and I think last year in March went down to the 30s, low 30s, and then start jumping after the study result was published,
Yeah,
and
39,
it went up to 180, 190, and now it's
37.
coming back because of the. But this is how the CRISPR. You buy it, you hold it, sell it when it's high, and
Yeah.
buy it again when it's slow. Gonna
I'm
go
not
up
worried
high.
because of all the stuff I'm hearing, and even Kathy Wood from ARK
No,
Invest loves this company. Guys, this is not financial advice, just to show you why. This is where me and Chris bought it. Probably exactly this day, January
I buy it. I
11th.
buy it all the time. I've been investing with it for the last 5 years, buying and selling. It is a good stock. I love it. I love the novel aspects and the approach of it, because this is going to be the future of medicine, cell therapy, genetic therapy, and all
Yeah.
this thing. I think in one of the companies outside the United States, they start applying it for cancer, and they're seeing results on it. In China, there is a lot of study on cancer patients, especially lung cancer, for a long time, and they're finding a lot of good results, but nothing is still polarized as a clinical trial or anything to my knowledge, but it could be somewhere. I don't know. Maybe you can ask Margot, because she's into the CRISPR technology since she was in her college.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was a junior in college. I was in medical genomics, and at that time, my professor, she was one of the three at the time when CRISPR was barely coming out. So it was pretty awesome. She showed us the technology. We swapped our cheeks, and we got to go in and actually see how the splicing was done. She did say that it was the future of science, and how all the regeneration, cell stems research, and all that was going to go. And I mean, a few years later, and here we are, and CRISPR is doing really great things. And I mean, I definitely think it's a long-term investment for sure. Just
100%.
like all the other ones. Like, I mean, when you look at any general tech, they have really great ideas. It's a lot of innovation. It's just a matter of how they get there, and when they get there. So I think what you said, Dr. Al, is buy it when it's low, sell it when it's high, and just continue to do that as you're going. Personally, for me, I think I would, if I were to own anything on that. I would probably just, you know, probably just hold it straight, and maybe a small percentage do that strategy. But I think CRISPR is a really great technology. It's no doubt.
Yeah, back to the Latinos in Clinical Research article. So this is going to give everyone an overview. CRISPR's CTX001 is a potential drug to treat sickle cell and beta thalassemia. These are both disorders that affect the oxygen-carrying cells in the blood. After harvesting the patient's own cells from his or her bone marrow, medical professionals use CTX001 to edit the gene responsible for red blood cell production and infuse the cells back into the body. In 2015, CRISPR entered into a partnership with Vertex Pharmaceuticals to develop a number of treatments using this technology. The magic is in the Cas9 gene, which is the.
Yes.
Can you explain this, Dr. Al? The
It is
Cas9?
an RNA that goes to the DNA and split or take the abnormal area of the DNA and replace it with a normal one. And that's why this is the basic way of talking about it. That's that's how they overcome the abnormality in sickle cell and beta thalassemia.
I have most likely a very dumb question, but when this occurs, does it occur within all the cells in the body? Because there's what, like trillion? Or
they have to do this treatment multiple times so they can get most of the cell, but in one time they will not be able to.
okay, so it's not just doing it to like 10% of the cells and then the cells
No.
replicate and then they replicate correctly. They have to do it to all the cells. Yeah.
It's a DNA, my friend.
Okay.
Wow, what an amazing technology.
It is
Monica?
very, very exciting. It's one of the most novel treatment that created in the 21st century. It is something. It is it's
Yeah.
when I first read about it, I was so fascinated.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, there is I think a couple of articles in the Science American Association of Science and Research. They talk about it a lot, and they talk about the basic science of it even, which is more interesting.
Yeah,
So-
Kathy Wood, in a very famous Bloomberg interview, this is how much potential she thinks CRISPR has. There are three companies with patents behind this Cas9 technology. They're all part of CRISPR. Okay, their market cap total is only 5 billion. When you compare that to Apple of 1 trillion. So that's like just take that as context for what we're dealing with, how undervalued this is.
And not only that, but like I think what I like about it, like for instance, you were talking about the sickle cell and what it does. That's obviously a very intense disease, right? But the basis of it, what it's doing to help, right, with the hemoglobin, if you take that and you can help like people that just have like low iron, right? Even the most basic kinds of things, and how once they figure that out, like how far it can actually stretch out into the more minor issues or the more minor, chronic issues that people have on a wide scale, like that would do a lot for a lot of people that eventually over time also create other comorbidities, right? So I think that that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Chris, you were saying something.
I forget. It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
In this CTX001, more than 20 patients have been dosed with CTX001 across both trials. Completion of enrollment in both trials is expected in 2021. All right, so we're going to have like a catalyst maybe with the top line data coming out this year. Additionally, the first patient with TDT treated in CLIMB trial recently completed 2 years of follow-up and enrolled in the long-term study. They're also doing CAR T therapies utilizing gene editing to make immune systems able to recognize and attack specific kinds of cancer cells. So how does this work, Dr. Al? The gene editing for the T cells? In addition, CRISPR has partnered with ViaCyte, a private company, to develop treatment for type 1 diabetes. The partners, who hope that gene editing can protect ViaCyte's replacement pancreatic stem cells from the body's immune system, expect results from a phase 1/2 trial to be released in 2021. So if that trial is going to have good results, top line data, you're going to see another potential spike in that's another catalyst date. So I know, Chris, you and I have been holding this
It's a
thing
big,
all
it's a
year.
big market, my friend. It's a big
Mhm.
market here for diabetes patient by itself.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Type
And I
1
think pretty
diabetes.
much all over the world.
Okay.
Diabetes is a underlying epidemic that we have.
So Chris, you and I have been holding this. It seems like forever, but just since the top, no big deal. But
Mhm.
we got good catalyst on our side. Time is on our side with this one, Chris. Lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, hopefully the FDA approves.
So what CRISPR's been doing has been single gene diseases, but now they're going to start making the applications to multi-genes at the same time. They can turn stem cells into neurons that make up the central nervous system, which could have implications for creating healthy cells to replace problem cells in people with Alzheimer's or ALS. Newly developed mRNA technology could be combined with CRISPR to change the way clinicians treat diseases. Another thing Kathy Wood said in that Bloomberg interviews, in the very near future, we're all going to have geneticists. That's going to be a new specialty of a doctor called a geneticist.
It is already there.
Already there,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
accessible, like Medicare will pay for it.
They even have, I know if you go to hospitals, and I know this because when I was actually looking for work here in Austin when I first moved, I thought it was really interesting that a lot of hospitals are trying to hire genetic specialists so that you can just sit with the patient and talk to them about like their genetics and things like that. And I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know that that was such a thing.
Do you do counseling?
Yeah,
Margot?
counseling. No, I
Do
do
you
not
do?
do counseling. No, no,
No.
no, no, no. No, I just saw that was an actual job, and I had no idea that there was genetic counseling.
Yeah, we refer our patients sometimes for geneticists where they can, if they have like abnormal, like BRCA testing or abnormal gene testing, Lynch
Mhm.
syndrome or FAP, all this, we refer them to sit and counsel them about what they need to do, especially
Right.
females with the BRCA testing positive.
Mhm.
Just for information, guys, CRISPR is not the only company that do that. There is about 5 or 6 company, Natalia, Editus, Blue, and GNPX. All this is genetic testing, genetic companies for the CRISPR.
But CRISPR is just furthest ahead, right?
CRISPR is the technology itself.
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
and the first company that got the patent called themselves CRISPR.
Mm.
Okay,
I got
but
you.
there you have Editas is I think bought by another company, and there is like SOMGO, also another company.
Okay. Okay. By popular request, we're doing, and I know nothing about this stock, guys. We just discover on this channel, and then we give you just overview. So Aquestive Therapeutics, AQST, CNS disorders. Okay, so these are the ones that partner, like I said, with
Central nervous
KMPH
system.
through Farm Film Technology. They're the undisputed leader in developing and delivering medications via film through farm film technology. Dr. Al, what's the advantage of delivering medicine through film? Why is this needed?
Because it's much better absorbed. It's in the mucous membrane.
That's true.
Get in touch with it directly, and it's much better absorbed directly to the body, as if you're giving it like it's not exactly as if, but it is like absorption. The bioavailability of it is same as IV.
Okay. So here's the upcoming catalyst we talked about, Libervant, seeking partner outside US. So it's basically diazepam in a film indication, and they're filing it, which this drug is a very addicting. That's one thing I do know about it. That's
Mhm.
not allowed in most CNS studies. And then it's filed. So this is the upcoming catalyst. Is it something that could be less addictive if it's in a film, as
No,
opposed to oral?
they're not talking about the addiction. They're talking about the delivery for it, especially in seizures. We give it IV. You can't give it oral. Like wait for it like this. So the patient needs to take it
Yeah.
Right away.
directly if they have breakthrough seizures, cluster seizures. So
Yeah,
they
but
can fully-
diazepam on its own is a controlled substance. Like, so the
Yes, it
FDA
is.
doesn't just play games with this kind of stuff.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
because if it's on film, is it gonna be not a controlled substance, or it's the exact
No.
same thing?
The absorption for it will be better.
Okay.
Delivery method of delivering it, will be better instead of the pills or IV. You
But
have
like-
this.
But like the potency, Dr. Al, is the potency that, you know, if somebody's effective, if they took it like pill medication and they had the high chances of getting addicted, even though yes, it's
The same.
absorbed, it's the same. Okay.
The same. The only difference is this is like as on a film, it is easier to be given to the patient in case of emergency.
Yeah.
They don't have to. If there
So
is
basically,
no,
they're using the same strategy as ChemPharm, because ChemPharm, that's the prodrug, if you remember, the ligand. This is the same thing. They're taking drugs that have already been approved, and in the case of AQST, right? And this makes sense why they've partnered with ChemPharm for the KP415. So the next one is for breakthrough seizures, cluster seizures, diazepam. So what do you think, Dr. Al, so far from what you know about this?
I think this is also a new way of delivering medication, which is very good. Which is like something it's not available in the market, so it is a kind of catalyst.
Diazepam, and I'm sorry, I really don't like, I know the name, but what exactly does diazepam do? Is it like
Anxiolytic and sedative. It can treat anxiety. Most people use it for anxiety, and it's very addictive. But they're also using it, I guess, in lower doses for muscle spasms and seizures.
well, that would make sense then. That definitely makes sense why they would be utilizing that.
And it's a controlled substance, can cause paranoid or suicidal ideation, impair memory judgment. Combining with other substances, particularly alcohol, can slow breathing and possibly
It is
lead to
very
death.
abusive.
Wow.
So do you think the
abusive,
human abuse potential because of the novel way of delivery is going to be improved?
Unless they're doing
No.
microdoses.
No, I don't think
So
so.
the delivery doesn't do anything other than absorb, but the addiction is still there. All the addictive properties, everything is the same.
Yep.
So
I
maybe
think
it's
the
just efficacy then.
Yeah, efficacy. It's the bioavailability and addiction and everything is the same.
So write it up until it drops.
Write it up prior to catalyst, depending on how the market goes. I just don't understand, why do they take diazepam? Like, if it's not for safety, all right, if it's not to alleviate, because the KMPH, it actually reduced some of the human abuse potential. The one we reviewed last week for the ADHD drug. Like, it was
That's completely different.
So-
The KMPH is doing anti ADHD medication
right.
that less addictive than the traditional one.
Right. So that makes that even better stock because it has better efficacy and safety.
Yeah, KMPH is it's a very good company.
So this has no difference in safety from the generic, and it's maybe delivery is better.
And I think also, for example, if a patient is having a epilepsy or something, they can put the film in the patient mouth and
But
without
The delivery is
having
better, as Dr.
Yeah.
Allen said.
Yeah.
So
I think Monica is right, because if you have a patient that's actively seizing and you do not have an venous access to give him any medication, this will be the easiest way to do it through putting a film in his mouth next to the mucous membrane, and he's gonna get the medication delivered for him fast and very effectively.
I'm wondering,
what is the catalyst date for the next item?
The next product?
Yeah, you said that there was a catalyst upcoming.
Yeah, for AQST, there's two. There's the KMPH one, so they're partnered with them.
So that's March 2nd.
And then they have this in the first half of 2021, because they've already filed the
I think this
NDA
is
again.
already out. It's just today. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it hasn't been approved today.
So
FDA is going to make a decision in the first or second half of this year.
So if you go back to Yahoo for the stock,
Yeah.
it feels the stock is well overvalued.
Yeah. Well, Yahoo's not the best for that because I've seen it, but the chart events are neutral. But yeah, 1 year target estimate for AQST is $15 and it's $5. So I don't know why they're saying that if their 1 year target estimate is $15.
Maybe they're testing it by the actual average of the activity that's going on.
Yeah, it's like some algorithms they're using, not common sense. But this is the catalyst, and then they have the NDA filing, and they just today announced the reaffirms near-term NDA resubmission for Libervant. They have 7 studies completed, has results, terminated, has results. Healthy participants, ALS, epilepsy. I think this is the one. Which one is the one that's
This is the one.
diazepam? This one, diazepam.
Mhm.
Active not recruiting, University of Arizona. There we go. Let's see,
Wow.
active not recruiting, 2020. Okay, so this one just finished. And then I don't know if they have results here. They don't have results for this one either. But it's for epilepsy. Is the oh, here we go. This one has results. Epilepsy. This one completed
Rectal.
August 2020. So I guess they can resubmit. I don't know if that means they have to do another trial. Or what happened. The FDA written feedback direction on the FDA's expectations for the information and supporting analysis relating to the population. Aquestive received a complete response letter from the FDA on September 2020 and completed Type A meeting with the FDA. Based on the FDA's feedback, as well as this further guidance from the agency, Aquestive continues to believe that no further clinical studies are necessary for the resubmission of the NDA for Libervant. Once resubmitted, Aquestive anticipates a 6-month review process. ONTX Onconova Therapeutics. Dr. Al, have you heard of this thing? ONTX.
What do they do?
They do oncology, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, it's oncology and it's also genetics. And I recently read. I mean, obviously they're in the red right now,
Oncovan
like
is,
everybody.
let me see what they do.
CRAS plus lung and adenocarcinoma phase 1, 2.
Tumor.
They have solid tumor phase 1 to be initiated first half 2021. They have IV rigosertib, Inspire, second line HRMDS, high risk myelodysplastic. What is this? Can you read?
Dysplasia.
Yeah,
Myelodysplastic.
phase 3 did not meet primary endpoint August 24th. So what you really have is you have this new one in the phase 1. It's one of these early stage ones that people are excited about.
Well, I
This
think
is
this
like
one,
really excited on Reddit. People are loving this one.
I think this one's actually going to be really good because when I was doing some of the research, about a week ago, they officially, and I think it says right there for February 16th, if I'm not correct, when they got back with NASDAQ, they actually, since it's a starter, kind of a starter type, typically what happens is if they can sustain for, I think, more than 5 days, within the parameters of NASDAQ, which in this case, I think it was holding or sustaining the worth of $1 per stock, which they were able to do. NASDAQ officially cleared them to be in NASDAQ, which is a pretty big deal for a starter. So that, and then I think another catalyst that happened, I think you can find it on their website. I can't remember where I read it, but I believe their heads, like the CEOs and the board and all that, they started taking on stock, like actually picking up like amounts of stock for the company compared to when they were initially started. So
Oncova Therapeutics is a biopharmaceutical company. I'll do this. I'll go on the website for the other one too. Oncova Therapeutics is a biopharmaceutical company focused on discovering and developing products that treat cancer. Oncova's let's see, learn more. Product pipeline, solid tumors, phase 1, oral rigosertib, RAS pathway inhibitor, and then
You know what?
what
I
is
know
this,
this
doctor?
company. This is the company that's turning the IV medication to oral medication, and that's what their catalyst. They have a new product that's take the IV medication and they can do some mixing for it, and it will be an oral.
Well, that
And
makes
that's
it
what they want.
promising. I think that would be
Yeah.
good too, because I think doesn't that make it easier for them when it comes to dealing with like any research subjects and things like that, it's more easier for them to like
It
monitor the
is
research.
easier for them and easier for the economy because imagine how much money you're gonna save by doing this on the hospitalization, side
Oh
effect
yeah.
of the IV medication, placement of IV accesses to do the IV medication. Gonna be a lot of advantages for that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Our product candidates designed for targeting cancer are derived from a novel chemistry platform and cell-based differential screening, which together define discovery approach. More than 150 novel core chemical structures, thousands of unique compounds. Most are simple 2-ring or 3-ring structures built around a common core. Most kinase enzymes require the binding of adenosine triphosphate or ATP to function.
Uh-huh.
Unlike most kinase inhibitors, our proprietary library includes many molecules that do not compete with ATP binding site of kinase. What do you
Oh.
think as a doctor, Dr. Al? What is this promising?
I think it is very promising. ONTX is very promising company because I think I heard about them read about them in one of the articles, but I didn't look directly into their stocks or their
There you go.
investing in them. But now when you bring it up and like this, I think it's a very novel and very good
see?
company.
Latinos in clinical trials is bringing you guys gifts even when it's on a clinical research circle. This is what we do. So we're gonna have
Awesome.
Eileen write about this company. Chris, what do you think about that, Chris? Eileen Schneider, the writer, should write about this.
Yeah, seems like good content.
I vote yes.
I vote yes
Yeah,
too.
me too.
For
Me
selfish
too.
reasons.
Yeah.
ON 12 Onconova's lead pipeline product is novel small molecule ON proprietary first-in-class multi-kinase inhibitor targeting tumor-driving kinases, including CDK4/6 and AMPK-related protein kinase. Wow. I mean, I don't understand any of this, but if Dr. Al's excited about this,
No, it is very good. Yes, especially for cancer patient.
okay. So
Just
that's
when you
that.
hear like when you read there is a killing cancer cell, it is exciting.
Yeah. Especially if it's
Yeah.
not having to compete while it's trying to kill a cancer cell. That's pretty major, I think.
And then, oh, actually, let's look at the stock. So it was in the 80s, like in 2016, when it was probably developing this one that did not meet, did not meet primary endpoint August 24th, 2020. That's probably when it tanked. Oh no, it tanked that in 2018. So something happened before where it didn't meet endpoints, 2019. So this is like starting over, brand new. For the last few years, it's just been $3, $2, 19 cents,
But look,
34 cents, 30
but the
cents.
volume's going up. If you can see that at the bottom, the
Yeah.
volume is going up,
The
which
red
means
stuff
yeah. So like
underneath.
yeah, so it means that there's a lot of momentum building behind it, which is good. There
Here's
you
the
go. See,
6-month chart.
yeah. So 6 month, like if you condense it, right? There's a massive uptick, and it's because what I told you was because one
Mhm.
where now the heads of board they're actually taking on stock, which obviously they find that it's valuable, right? And then two, because of what happened with the Nasdaq. So if they're able to maintain with the Nasdaq, that means that they have a really good financial backing.